What is going on, guys? I know it has been a while since I've done an update, but there is a story behind it, and here it is. As you know, I started with the church as the first building, and before I went to Brick Fair, I started in on this roof, and I could not get it. I thought it was the lack of certain pieces, so I placed an order from Lego. It ended up not getting here until the day I left. Oddly enough, I couldn't do anything until I got back, so I spent the entire time at Brick Fair looking at how people done things, looking at other people's ideas, and came home with a brand new plan. But it failed. So I was like, well, I got it. Tried another one, and guess what? It failed. So I came down here that next week and was like, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. Between Saturday and Sunday, I spent almost 13 hours down here and I still could not get it. I was beyond pissed. It got so bad, I started texting buddies of mine, asking them if they had any ideas on how to make this work. Maybe I was overlooking something. And Mr. Bevan's Brix gave me the perfect idea. Just walk away. So I did. I shut the lights out down here and walked away. I stayed out of the Lego room for almost a week, then came down here just to do a couple things and thought I would revisit this whole situation. And guess what? I had to rebuild the church, but it came together. Now, I couldn't get rid of all those gaps I wanted to disappear, but I did get rid of a lot of them, and I am really happy with the way this turned out compared to how it started. Now, with it being fixed, I had to tear it all the way down and start again from the ground up and get rid of the original shape of the church. I had to remake it my own, kind of revamp it a little. That way it would hold these slopes and these wedges a little better and get rid of those gaps. The other big design change I did was the church has actual 4 sections of stained glass windows on each side, and I cut that down to 3. I had it at 4 to begin with, but with me doing it this way, building it a little bigger, making the steeple bigger and everything else, it just wouldn't kind of look right. It almost looked too long, so I knocked it down to 3. Not that big of a deal. I don't want it to be completely the just eye visual of what you see on this. You got to see the whole city for what it is and not just this one church, so I'm not really mad about that. Now I still have to go in and add a bunch of details where the holes in the roof are and where the holes in the side of the building are. I didn't. I wanted to get this roof done. I wanted to get set up to shoot this, and I got to go in, and all I'm going to do is add these pockets, if you will, to try to show, hide, maybe whatever you want to call all that interior design holding up all that weight. Basically the structure I want to show where when you look through it, it kind of just looks like it's a full interior building. Once I do that and complete the damage in the front, it'll be 100% done and we can just move on. Now, the next thing I started on was the fleet of vehicles I'm going to use for all this. Everyone knows from the other videos, I've had the half tracks and I've had the Jeeps, but the Jeeps just weren't cutting it. Everybody was commenting, asking me why I didn't go with the new style of the Brickmania Jeeps. So I took all the old ones apart and I built all in the new style. I also kind of did the same thing with the half tracks. I revamped them a little. I took some of the parts and changed them out, added some more detail to them. They look a little more, I guess you could say, rounded. They're not just the plain classic looking style. They look new and kind of revamped. So I started in on my first tanks. Me and my buddy Legion came down here and started in on the 6 Shermans. Now, I only built 4. I still have 2 more to go, but those 2 are going to be ones that are destroyed. My next project is to put those together using the instructions, but kind of stop at a certain point and start showing the destruction. I want to have one with just completely demolished, and then I want to have another one with the turret being exploded off, but I want to show it to make it actually look like the action is happening right then and there, which is some techniques I'm working on. Along with the Shermans, I did build my first N10 Wolverine, and I have another one to build also. I have been stocking up on every tank destroyer crew I can find from Brickmania. I think right now I have around 6 or 7, which is a very good start. I think I'm only going to need like 15, maybe a little more. What I'm going to do with them is put them inside the tanks. You'll see probably one in or around each tank. That way, kind of showing the tank crew bled in with the rest of the infantry. And I know what you're wondering. No, the American vehicles aren't the only thing I've done in this. I've also started the German side. And the first German vehicle I decided to use just happens to be one of my favorite and the best is the Tiger 2s. Now, using this idea, I kind of went above and beyond. I took one of the tanks from the Brickmania design, I built it in studio, and then I changed the camo patterns 4 different times. So every one of these tanks has a different camo pattern. I know it's crazy, but I've already decided to go with the Brickmania perfect caliber weapons. I've already decided to go with every single one of these figures being full printed. I might as well just keep it going, right? I don't need to just fall short on some things. I'm just going to keep it going to as much detail as I can, and hopefully it will really make this mock stand out compared to others. The Tiger 2s are all I have right now. I did pre-order some other German vehicles that haven't got here yet, and what I'm trying to do is build vehicles into sets. So like with the Shermans, I built all 6 at once, or I've got all the pieces to build all 6 at once. I did the same with the M10s, the half tracks, and the Jeeps. Now what I'm going to do is the Panzer 3s and then the Panzer 4s, and then go into the German SDKFs and stuff like that. And of course, I'll be doing these Panzer 3s and Panzer 4s the same way. I'll be building them into studio and trying to move around the pieces to make it where they don't all look correct, or at least they don't all look exactly the same. American vehicles back then in Germany were just all gray. Germans were not. They had everything from everywhere. So I'm going to try to represent that in this mock. Finally, one of the things I wanted to go over was what I did at Brick Fair. So I went with the intentions of buying nothing but what I could purposely use for this mock, and I absolutely succeeded. I got all of the perfect caliber weapons that Brickmania's actual capital store had next door that I'll ever need. They'll be all the ones I need for the mock. I will absolutely buy no more of the weapons unless they are to come out with a couple that I don't have. I'll throw a little bit of variant in there, but I've got a long list of everything now, and I'm pretty sure I'm more than stocked for what I need. Also went and got some more detailed helmets. Same thing with them. I'm pretty sure I got all I need. All I'm really missing right now, besides a couple more vehicles to be built and ordered, is the minifigs. I still need about 80 minifigs on both sides, give or take. I don't really know what I'm going to end up doing. I said I wanted 100 on each side. I think that might go a little bit over, but I'm not sure. It's really just availability. While I was over in Brickmania, I bought every single Battle of the Bulge German they had. I've bought a lot of the artillery and the tank destroyer crews they had. I've cleared out the store while I was there, just not really what's online. And I'm going to continue to slowly chop that online quantity up as I go down the road. I also made another huge step in this. I told everybody that the castle would be lit up with lights. I went and tried to work with a company. Their stuff just wasn't working. It started failing. Couldn't figure out what to do. I was going to switch companies there at the end, but I was almost thinking I was too far gone to make it happen. And in the end, I kind of felt like I was. But I have bought lights for this. I have bought tons of lights for this. I'm using Bevan's bricks, which is what I was intending to go with in the castle. Never really made it happen, but I've got more than enough to finish the city of Bastogne right now. And then once I start dwindling down on my supply, I'll be going towards and buying more for the actual battle in the Ardennes Forest. There's tons of other things that I wanted that I got. I wanted a lot of this stuff to be printed tiles. I don't want stickers everywhere. I wanted ammo crates. I want rations. I wanted cigarettes, and I found cigarettes. I wanted the lighters to light the cigarettes. I found all that. So this is going to be highly detailed. My next step kind of in this all is to get all of this stuff done. And when I say that, I've got to get a lot of it organized. That way, when I go somewhere, I can just set it up. So I'm going to be buying... There's a couple people there at Brick Fair that had these boxes. I don't really know how to explain them, but I did find them online. These are what I'm going to be trying to build in the armies in. That way, all the minifigures are together. I have and I know where they go. I can take them out and place them, because this just won't be like the castle where everything is random. Everything will have a certain spot in this mock. But guys, I do want to apologize. I need to make these videos closer together. It took me too long to make the last update. Now it took me even longer to make this one, and I need to change that. I will tell you that I'm going to be displaying what I have of the Battle of the Bulge mock in Brixboro in the first week of October, which means I have to have this built, and I've set my goal to have the first 18 base plates, which is the first kind of chunk of Bastogne. Now everyone knows I've got the church done, and I've actually already started on some of the other buildings. I have about 3 of those ready to go, and those will be kind of built then set in Bastogne, and I'll be kind of putting details around them. But I'm going to try to promise that there will be more stuff to come. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that comment button, subscribe, tell me what you think. I really hope you're liking this process, but I got to go get to finish building this. Peace.